Hi, I'm Katie Kopec. I'm going to be a senior next year at Whitney High School, class of 2023. I am a runner. I do track and field and cross country. I have the 5K, 1600, 3200 meter, and 800 meter record at Whitney. I was the D2 section champion in cross country, and I qualified for state in cross country and track in the 3200 meters in track. And yeah.
When did your love of running start?
Oh gosh. Well, I've been running what feels like my entire life, but never really took running too seriously until, semi-recently. I ran a little bit in like 8th grade, just doing like simple mileage, like barely anything every week, like doing like cross country and track in middle school. But yeah, my dad ran in college and I just kind of grew up loving the sport and doing like little road races that we've done local, like Run Rockland for years, and just kind of grew up doing little things like that really got me into the sport.
What do you feel that you're either providing or learning from your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, although it's so individualized, like I learned so much from my teammates, and I feel like I can teach my teammates so much with that because it still is very like, especially at Whitney, like our team is very like team oriented. Like we focus so much on team culture and team like characteristics and kind of growing together and like celebrating each other's PRs when they happen, or cheering each other up when we maybe don't hit the times that we want. But it's definitely something that's like a big part of what I focus on for the seasons.
You're big at competition out there. Are you studying and learning and watching what they do, or how do you size up the competition in cross country and track?
Yeah, I definitely keep a lookout at the rankings and kind of the local kids around me, but also like throughout the state, and kind of see where I kind of lie and where everybody around me typically is. Like if there's a big meet coming up, I like to look at everyone who's going to be there and kind of be like, okay, well, this is where I can maybe be, but also be realistic with myself and be like, okay, I'm going to shoot for this and whatever. Just a little helpful to like keep track of everybody around me and what they're kind of doing, but also staying in a positive mindset.
Is there certain things that you have to do either the night before or during the day? Is there superstitions that you have as a runner that you have to do every single time you compete?
Definitely have pasta every night before a big race. And if a race is in the morning, then that's usually like a piece of toast, nothing too big for breakfast. But I'm pretty superstitious when it comes to meals, but nothing crazy. I don't think find myself doing a lot of superstitions. I definitely have like a somewhat pre-race routine, like the night before, if that's like icing or going in the hot tub, or just kind of rolling, stretching out, just making sure I'm ready mentally and physically for the day ahead.
When you're out there on the road, right, it's you and the road,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think there was a movie back there that talks about it. It was a great ad. It was Nike Women's or something, and it talked about it's just you and the road. It's the time where you can sit and think. What are you thinking about? What is the process in that? Are you off having a good time, or is there a focus to the race? Is there different things that are happening? Is there music in your head? What's going on with Katie when you're running in that time?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I really think it depends on the race. Like, well, first of all, like at practices, like we're with teammates, so that's like fun. We're all laughing, having a good time. Sometimes we're singing to each other on runs, making a good time out of, our 10-mile runs or whatever mile runs, to keep the time passing by. But when it comes to racing, I try to kind of tune out in a little bit in the first couple of laps when it comes to track, or like maybe the first mile and a half on a cross country race, because it's such a long time and such a long like process where you're going. And if you get too mentally, I mean, it's such a physical sport, but it's such a mental sport, and mentally if you're not really there, you can kind of relax, focus, and kind of take your mind off of the rankings or where you need to be and like the pain that you're really feeling. So just kind of tuning out really helps me, especially like when it comes to bigger and more stressful races.
When you start a race, obviously, boom, you start running, and you're all jockeying for position, and and then you get into that focus and relaxing. Is there a point that's just like you're in a zone, you don't feel anything? It gets quiet. What is that? Or how long does it take for you to get to that?
Honestly, that's like me right out the gate. Like I hear the gun, or honestly, like I get really nervous like until I really get on the line. Once I'm on the line, I just take a few breaths. I do a couple yawns to really open up my lungs to get ready for the race. But after that, I'm pretty much set, and I have that confidence in me, and I know I'm ready to go, and I know what I can do in these races. So really once I get on that line, I know I can perform to my like training and my best ability.
Is there like a pace that you get into your head that you're thinking about, or is it just kind of a natural thing?
Definitely a little bit of a pace, but it's also more so a range. Like I'm not being like, okay, I need to hit like, I don't know, 520, like every, like 80s every lap. Like that's not always the mindset I need to be in. I know like if I'm between 75 and 80%, like I'm on target for most, but I'm not like some people like write it down on their arm. They know like I need to be here, here, here for this split. Like I'm not that person. I go off a lot of feel. And I'm pretty good, at knowing my pace and if I'm on or off. So
what do you do well?
I think when it comes to like running or racing, what I do well is kind of like knowing, like how I said kind of before, is like my pacing. Like I just kind of get it in my head, not necessarily a number, but the feeling, and I just kind of get there and I know that I can hold it, and I have that mental like toughness and mental strength to kind of push through and persevere even when it's feeling really difficult, and just knowing like I'm right on target without really having to look at my watch or like take a breather and take a break, and just be like I can just reassess pretty quickly even if the pace is a little bit off, and just kind of like get back to either the same pace or a different pace where I can manage more.
What do you need work on?
I think something I need to work on, like as I've noticed as like the season has progressed, like I've definitely gained a lot of confidence, but I still think I have a lot to learn when it goes to like leading races. We have such like talented girls like in like the whole state or in NorCal or in our league, in our section. And, for me, like racing since freshman year, I never was the one to take the lead. And I still struggle with that because I don't want to take the lead. I'm like, oh no, I can, outkick him at the end, or I can, work my way up to the front pack. But now that I've gotten older and now that I've, recognized like my speed and what I can do, pushing my way up to the front pack is something I really need to like be more confident and work on. But I'm definitely getting better as like time progresses with that.
Nice. And what would you do differently?
I don't know if I would do anything differently. I think that kind of what I was saying, or like just kind of how I need to improve on getting up to the front pack is just another thing like that goes along with that.
So what are your goals?
I was just going there, yeah.
For high school and then into college?
Yeah, so definitely the plan is to run in college, and that's like been a goal of mine forever. So now that like we're at senior year, like that's a bigger target of mine. But goals, like as I said, I already have like school records and stuff. But for me, like just getting my personal times down is my biggest goal. So getting my 5K down this cross country season, getting my 800 down, getting my 1600 down. I'm at a comfortable spot at my 32, but I still know I can get it down. So just getting those times down and really going for section champ again, qualifying for state again for track in the 32, or possibly another event to see what I can do there. And just trying to get as low like in the rankings as I possibly can.
What's the depth of the podium? How far down in the podium do they go? And,
like at the state meet?
Yeah.
For cross country? It's different. So
for each one?
Yeah, so in cross country it goes down to 10.
Okay.
And then in track I believe it's 6th. Yeah. So last year in cross country I was 7th, and I really would love to be like top 3.
Right.
And, yeah.
Top 1. Oh, I said that out loud, didn't I? Slipped
I
out.
mean, of course, there's no. I'm not trying to hold myself back with 3, but
So, Katie,
yeah.
do you have any goals for the team for cross country?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
So I have only ever gone to state as an individual, and I think our team this year has a great shot and great opportunity to make it to state in cross country, because we have so many talented girls coming in as new freshmen, and so many talented girls already on the team who have been working so hard, and have really like trusted the program ahead. That deserve like a shot to go to state. So I really want to like lead my team there and get them there and get that done.
Who are some of your mentors?
Oh gosh, I would just say mentors are like coaches and family. I really like look up to my parents and like how they've raised me in a way that, running isn't everything, but it's something I'm really passionate about. And I'm still so thankful to be so passionate about it, because so many kids my age have done sports since they were really little and are burnt out so quickly, or when they hit like junior year, they're burnt out and they don't really love their sport anymore. They're just kind of doing it. Like that has not been the case for me ever. I still love running just as much as anything. And I think that's just a testament of the way I've always like been brought up. And coaches the same way. Like, they've always pushed me to, be the best version of myself, like on and off, like the racetrack, So I just really look up to them for that.
I want to go deeper on that real quick because she talked about on and off the track.
Mm-hmm.
So what is competing in these sports taught you about life?
So much. I think that the mental toughness when it comes to running has taught me so much, just like becoming to like when it's school or friends or family or anything, just kind of persevering and like that. Gosh, that mental toughness just really carries you through. Like getting over such hurdles, like when it comes to like the physical pain of running, like really takes you far. So just focusing on that and just kind of pushing through that.
So I want to elaborate on that a little more, the mental toughness.
Yeah.
So good.
So mental toughness,
Yeah.
people can just say it, but what does it truly mean to you?
For me, like when I'm like, it hurts to run. Like obviously, like nobody, like it hurts.
These
and
guys know that.
It's exactly like nobody, like a lot of people aren't just like, oh, I'm just going to go on a run because they know it's really difficult to do. I mean, any sport is really difficult, but like we always joke with runners, like running is like any sport's punishment. Like when they go soccer and they have to go out and do like laps, they're like, oh, come on, coach. Like it's a big deal and they don't want to do it. But when you go out to run, like runners definitely feel the same way. Like it's like, oh, like I have to go out and run and have to do 10 miles. Like, oh, it's gonna be a long day. But you enjoy it so much and you just kind of recognize that you yourself are bettering yourself just like, cause it's so, I enjoy running. Like, and most, like everyone on the team enjoys running. And you go out there and it's almost like an escape from the stress of school and the stress of, anything that could be going on in your life. And you just kind of get to step back and relax and enjoy like the scenery because, we just get to look at the beautiful, like we run at Folsom Lake and we get to see like the beautiful lake and other people out walking their dogs and just kind of experiencing that life and everything that goes along with that.
Would you attribute that to, I've heard of the runner's high, would you say that it's very similar?
Kind of.
Okay.
I would say, yeah, I think definitely, like, I don't think runner's high is like a constant for any runner. I mean, it definitely happens. Like,
Yeah.
you just kind of feel it. Like, sometimes we go in like 6 a.m. running and I'm just like looking at the sunrise and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Like, I wouldn't ever be out here if I wasn't running right now. Like, I wouldn't just be going out and seeing the world in this way. So you just kind of experience it in a different way. But I don't know if you're just like so lost in the world that you're not like feeling or seeing anything.
Some guy comes up to you, rich, famous, just throwing this out there, says, you have one place to run in the world wherever you want to go. Where is it?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I run so many cool places, I feel like. But, I mean, I want to travel the world. So, like, if I could run anywhere, I'd run, like, in, like, Italy. Or I'd run in France. Or I'd run in Spain. I'd run anywhere. But, like, one of the prettiest places I run is, like, D.C. with my uncle. We went on a trip on there, like, 3 years ago. And we got to run, like, along the Washington Memorial. And that was, like, insane. It was so amazing to do that. So, like, I definitely want to run there again or sometime or anywhere. But definitely running, like, anywhere.
The little races you say, are you into like the marathon where you would like try and compete to qualify for like Boston or?
I mean, not at this age. Maybe like maybe when I'm older, like maybe like in my 20s or something, like late 20s. But
I know that's like so far away. Oh,
but like when I'm older, not old.
When I'm old.
But like as a high school kid, like I can't imagine doing 26 miles right now, like in one time. Like I do like 40-mile weeks, but doing 26 in one day. I mean, my dad does marathons and his buddies do marathons with him, and I like saw them doing the training for that, and it's hard. So definitely like respect that, but definitely not now, but soon.
We talked so much about you. I mean, you run. What else does Katie like?
Gosh, I don't know. I love going on like simple day trips with friends. Like I live for that. Like whether it's me driving or my friends driving, just going to like Sacramento or San Francisco or just anywhere where we can kind of get out of Rockland, because Rockland's a little bubble, and I love Rockland. I like staying here, and it's a safe town and everything, but getting out to see the world, like I said, I love to travel. Like I'd want to travel and see everything. Doing that is what I really want to be doing and all the time.